Okay, so this is the last video for this chapter wherein I am going to sum up. So here basic things are there. So how was institutional arrangements, which you have previously studied and discussed as well. So the principles were democratic and welfare of people. So all the institutions that were arranged in the constitution or the constituent assembly were in a manner that they followed democratic principles, and one thing was specific, that everything will be related to the welfare of people, that is related to your public reasoning. That means whenever a certain principle is there, it should be such that when it goes to the public, can the government be answerable to the public. Like for example, we introduce the concept of justice. So if justice will go to people, so how is justice formed? What are the principles in our justice? Are we dealing with economic justice, political justice? So everything related to the justice. So it should be such, when it is with the public, so our leaders should be accountable to the questions of the public, and it should be in terms of welfare of the people. Balance among various institutions: legislative, executive and judiciary. This basically reflects that our institutional arrangements should be such that we have balance among them, and we have a system of checks and regulation. That means legislature, executive and judiciary, they can work independently. Judiciary will not interfere in the work of legislature, or legislature will not interfere in the work of executive, but they will have a certain control, or you can say accountable. They are accountable towards each other. We have parliamentary form of government, okay, wherein parliament is supreme. We have federal arrangements. That means federal means two. So we have government at the central level, plus we have government at the state level. Also we learn from the experiments and experiences of other countries. That means from any country whose constitution was already made, or which was a successful constitution, so from all those countries we felt that okay, this is a good principle and we can adopt in India. We adopted. So a flowchart was already given in your notes, and you can refer that also, and this can be your 1 mark question also, or it can be your 6 marks question also, wherein you can be asked to describe all the provisions which India took from other countries. Okay, now one thing you need to remember: we took different provisions from different countries' constitution, but we never imitated it as it is. That means we never just copy pasted it. For example, if we felt that the concept of fundamental right is appropriate or is good or for the welfare of Indian citizens, so we took this fundamental rights from America, but we never copy pasted it. We molded it and changed it according to the needs and situations of Indian people, which you will realize when you will study the second chapter of this book. So briefly, from British we took the first past the post system. This is the voting system. Parliamentary form of system, the idea of rule of law, role of speaker, law making procedure, Charter of Fundamental Rights, power of judicial review. This was from American Constitution: Charter of Fundamental Rights, power of judicial review, independence of judiciary. What we took from the Irish Constitution, that is your directive principles of state policy. From the Canadian Constitution, federal system with a strong center government, residuary powers. And from the French Constitution we adopted principles of liberty, equality and fraternity. Liberty means freedom, equality you are aware of, fraternity means brotherhood. Okay, so now I am done with this chapter. If you have any queries, you can ask me, and I will in your WhatsApp group mark you the questions which you need to do in your notebooks. So thank you class.